Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, going to take a look in the Soulforge and tell you what I think is good and bad in there. Also going to take a look at this weekly event troop, the Undead Lion. Anyway, apparently the early bird catches the worm. In that case, I'm going to stay in bed until there's pancakes. Right, let's take a look at the Undead Lion. Darkstone ultra rare. Inflict terror and disease on an enemy, then deal magic +2 damage to them. So yeah, that geezer in the picture there definitely looks terrified. He looks somewhat diseased and looks like he's had some damage as well. So that is an accurate picture to that spell. Excellent stuff. So yeah, not a bad spell. Terror is actually pretty cool. I like terror. And disease halves the amount of mana the enemy team gets, so slowing them down. So yeah, not bad. Gain 1 attack when an enemy casts a spell. Is immune to mana burn, mana drain and mana steal, and immune to poison, disease, lycanthropy and deathmark when you collect the traits. So yeah, not spectacular but not bad either. Fairly average 5 out of 10, but it's inflict terror, which is giving that an extra point, because otherwise that's a bit naff. But terror can actually be good because it messes up the enemy team order as well, which is often very important to the way a team works. So anyway, get as many of these things as you can afford. I always like to get them to Mythic level because I've got a bunch of glory spare. But if you're tight on glory, just get one. Just make sure you've got it, because glory for a lot of people is really important because they can spend it on other stuff. Right, so let's jump into the Soulforge then. See what's going on in there today. Take a look at the weapons first. I'm not going to go over all the things that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video, with the exception of the Wonder Stars. Fantastic weapon, you should definitely craft that. But Champion's Cleaver, do not craft it from here. This is the Raid Boss event. It is at tier 3 in Raid Boss shop, so get it from there, because you're probably going to want to go to tier 3 anyway to help out your guild, and in that case you effectively get it for free, therefore saving resources. Explodes magic +1 purple gems, grants a random status effect to all Darkstone allies, then summon a Darkstone troop. So explodey summoning weapon, do like these. Exploding purple gems, getting mana for the team, status effects to Darkstone allies, and a summon. Very, very nice indeed. I do like them weapons. Right, like I say, all these are in my Soulforge extra video. Next up is Dark Sword. Deal magic-based damage to the first enemy, and deal triple damage if they use yellow mana. So very good against yellow opponents. Next up we have Blood Drinker. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy and steal half their attack. That's actually not bad, because by stealing their attack, you're actually taking away half what they have and giving it to you, which is going to be good for skull teams, because obviously if you leave any skulls behind, they're not as hitting as hard because you've stolen half their attack and increased yours, making them skulls even more deadly. Not bad, not bad. Doomed Runestones. Give magic +1 life to all allies with a +2 per tempering level boost. Then give 5 mana to all other allies. If the enemy has a doom, give 4 more mana. And give 2 magic to all allies for each brown enemy. So most effective against an all brown team. The more brown enemies you got, the more that magic boost to the last part of the spell is going to be affected. But yeah, I'm not over keen on these ones that give life and stuff like that. It's like, quite often a team will be so damaging that you fight against it actually negates that amount of life you give. Not unless somehow, like, you're using it in a team where the damage of another troop is boosted by life that your whole team has got, something like that, then it can be very good indeed. But otherwise, not essential. Chalice of Eyes. Cleanse and give magic +1 life to all allies and summon a all-seeing eye troop. Pretty cool weapon. Cleanse is really good. You've got a cleanse there on the whole team, giving them life as well, and a summon. And it has enchanting as one of its upgrades, which means as soon as you cast it, it becomes enchanted, getting ready to do it again. So yeah, pretty cool on that. Cleanse, extra life, summon, enchanted. Screaming Tome. Looks like one of those cups of coffee things people do where they blow into it, making it look like it's sort of screaming, but coming from a book. Anyway, does magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Darkstone allies, then creates a mix of 6 blue and purple gems for each Darkstone ally. So uses green and yellow, generates blue and purple, so make sure you've got at least a couple of your allies using those colours to make the most of that mana. But otherwise, yeah, pretty cool. Rath-Amon of Shadows does magic-based damage to an enemy, and if the enemy's attack is higher, there's a 20% chance to kill them. Sounds good, that last bit, but the trouble with these kind of weapons is you kind of feel lucky when it happens. You don't want to rely on luck so much. It's good when it happens, but otherwise it's just a low amount of damage, and it's... Yeah, and that second part only comes into play if the enemy's attack is higher as well, so not a fantastic weapon overall for me, more collectible. Wonder Stars, that's the one that's here all the time, but not in my Soulforge extra video because it came out afterwards. But yeah, brilliant weapon. Create 6 elemental stars and bless all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curse all enemies. Very reliable mana generator. Can backfire sometimes, but most of the time it works out an absolute treat. So get it if you can. What else we got? Anything else? Doomed Ring. Give 2 magic to all allies with a +1 per temporary level boost. Then give magic +2 armor to purple allies, and if the enemy has a doom, gain a 10 attack. So yeah, good in some situations, but not essential. Again, not one of the better doomed weapons for me. And that is it for weapons. Let's take a look at the troops. Go through all these summoning stone troops if you're a newer player. Check out, see if there's anybody that you've not got there. If you're missing anybody, any of these troops from here, then absolutely roll the dice and see if you get lucky picking up some extra troops. Remember doing this myself as a early player. Really cool when you get that new sign back to next to some troops. Really good collecting new stuff. Right, anyway, let's start from the bottom and work our way up. It's normally where the mythics start from. Yeah, first up we have King of Ravens. That's a pretty good one. Explode all purple gems and spirit gems, then deal magic +3 damage to the last 2 enemies boosted by spirit gems. So exploding gems, exploding purple and spirit gems can get back a lot of mana sometimes, making that very effective. But I like the traits as well. Summon a Darkstorm at the start of battle is purple. Immunity to mana burn, mana drain and mana steal actually makes it protected against the spirit gems it actually creates. The last one, Murder of Ravens, convert 2 blue gems to spirit gems when my turn begins. Spirit gems are effectively a mana drain gem, and when you match them, the enemy is going to lose mana, which is really annoying when it happens to you. But with this guy being immune to it, really helps out. It's effectively a blue match at the same time. So very good indeed. Lots of mana gen, damage. Can drain mana from the enemy while being protected from it itself. Yeah, do like the King of Ravens. Rath-Amon, another excellent mythic. A couple of good ones here already. Create a mix of 24 purple gems and skulls, gain 20 souls and cleanse all allies. The fact that it creates that mix of purple gems and skulls means this is good for all players absolutely straight away. If you've just come to the game today or just the last couple of weeks, this is going to be as effective for you as it is against a more experienced player, because a lot of troops, they are reliant on a high magic level, which means a high level of experience and work put into the game, but that doesn't matter with him. Obviously, the more level you've got, the higher your skulls will hit and things like that, but basically the effectiveness of the spell at basic level is going to be just as effective as for a newer player as it will be for a experienced one. So really good in that regard. And the traits, gain 50% bonus souls from battle, again useful if you're a newer player. Souls are super important. Undying, immune to poison, disease, lycanthropy and death mark, and gain 4 souls when my turn begins. So even more souls. Very good, Rath-Amon. But you've got to watch out for it, because even though that is a big mix of purple and skulls, it can backfire sometimes and set the enemy up. So just be wary of that. Next mythic, who is next? Ooh, Arachnaean Weaver. Absolutely awesome mythic. Web all enemies. When an enemy is webbed, their magic is reduced to 0, massively reducing the effectiveness of their spells. Then deals magic-based true damage to the last 2 enemies, and if an enemy dies, explode 15 gems. I mean, that's a good enough spell anyway, but the traits are the kind of the icing on a cake for this thing. Cannot be targeted by spells unless there are no other targets. Impervious, immune to all status effects, devour, lycanthropy and mana burn, and creeping doom. 75% chance to summon a web spinner when an enemy dies. Web spinner is a fantastic troop as well. A legendary troop that hits really hard with skull damage, so 3 excellent traits and a great spell as well. Arachnaean Weaver. Fantastic stuff. And the last one is Undine. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy and the next enemy below, boosted by Merfolk and Submerged allies, and Submerged blue allies and Silence blue enemies. So, okay spell. Damage to 2 different opponents, boosted by Merfolk and Submerged allies. The Submerged blue allies is going to be good against certain enemies, and the Silence blue enemies is going to be good against an all blue team. So, a little bit situational on how that works, but you do have to watch out for it as well. Because there's a certain power thing, isn't there? Its name doesn't come to me right now. But that can kill him basically outright. The Tidal King part, that last one, is supposed to be the best trait. Submerge myself at the start of every turn. There's a certain power thing. Forget what it's called. But basically, if an enemy is submerged, it just kills them outright. So, as hard as this guy thinks he is, he'll just get killed by that crazy parrot bird thing, which I cannot remember its name of right now. Someone will throw it in the comments or I'll look it up later, one or the other. But yeah, good but bad at the same time, depending upon who you're fighting. And let's take a look at the legendaries ever so quickly. Forest Guardian. Transform purple gems to skulls and brown gems to green. Allied beasts gain barrier, so that is actually a pretty decent spell. I do like the fact that it gains a barrier to all beasts, but no, you got those 2 different chances of a transform at the same time. But also very good is all beast allies start with 50% mana, so that is a very nice legendary. The Widow Queen, she's a bit evil. Sacrifice an ally, then deal magic-based damage to all enemies, boosted by the sacrifice troop's life, and summon a random Zulkari troop. So the cool thing about that is you can sacrifice an ally who's, for example, near death, and you may get a really good Zulkari summon in its place, which would be good. But obviously you get less boost from that if they're near death. But yeah, she's actually pretty cool. And web a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches is nice as well, as is immune to mana drain, silence, fairy fire, and web. So another pretty decent legendary there. Ursula. All Urska allies start with 50% mana is nice, and does scatter damage boosted by enraged allies. Enrage all allies and give them 6 attack. Pretty good in certain situations. And last not least we have General Edison. Does magic based damage to all enemies boosted by bomb gems. So a basic damage to all troop, but not bad, and it is boosted by bomb gems, and he does create a bomb gem when his turn begins, which is actually pretty cool, as well as being impervious. Alright, so who gets my Mythic of the week? Well, there's some decent ones here, there really is. Right, we've got King of Ravens, that is very good. Rath-Amon is really good when it's in a good mood. And Undine, good but bad, as I said earlier. But yeah, as good as these bottom 2 are, and Rath-Amon can be super aggressive, but it can backfire. But with a troop like Arachnaean Weaver, not only is a very good spell, but there's nothing to backfire on it. Webboard enemies is really powerful. True damage to the last 2 enemies, super useful. Quite often the most powerful troops are hiding in last 2 places, or they're stealthy and things like that. And this is going to hit them. And if they die, explodes gems, and it's got that awesome set of traits at the same time. So I can't not give it to Arachnaean Weaver. Absolutely love this troop. Really cool. My Mythic of the week. That's the video. If you enjoyed this video, found anything useful or helpful, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.